The Queen has returned. Members of the BEWU have a tense demonstration and the opposition looking to take legal action against the government. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Simonet with your Jcn News for this Wednesday, December 15th. Members of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union demanding answers from Bahamas Power and Light personnel surrounding a new security protocol put in place that reportedly endangers the safety of employees working at the Blue Hill Power Station. Here is Union President Kyle Wilson.
I'll take it from Monday. When I came to work, I met a fence impeding access to the changing areas. I then rode to the back of the parking lot. I noticed the entire area is all cordoned and fenced off. I spoke with security, and they're saying that these are new new security protocols that have been put in place that would impede access to the property. And I was like, hey, well, if that was the case, why did you not have a security officer at the very front like you used to that would stop the vehicles and check before they even reach the parking lot? So now there's unimpeded access to the parking lot when there was none before, but you're blocking me, a worker, from accessing my changing area, which is actually at the back of the station, and there's no designated pedestrian walkway or no safe pathway that would get me to the changing areas other than by vehicle. And so it was totally confusing.
He adds that Water and Sewerage, a company with which they share a yard with, was also blocked off, making it difficult for those employees to access their equipment.
They had to actually cut the gate open and go around, and the security is telling them they cannot allow them to exit the compound with their equipment. This is a very serious safety issue for the workers. In the event of a fire, fires have happened. The entire station at Bimini would have caught fire. That was a publicized event that you should be aware of. Clifton Pier, there was major fires that damaged the engines there. There have been fires on the other islands. There's even been fires and equipment issues here and transformers blowing. These are high-powered tension cables. These are high-powered transformers, and issues do happen. These are man-made items. Fires do take place. In the event of a safety issue, I would want to take the muster station to try to get to those routes, all blocked off. And so what I'm saying is there was no protocol for the safety of workers put in place when they made these changes. No one consulted with the workers. No one consulted with the union. I am the president of the union. I work here, and no one gave me any respect.
That said, the union is calling for the relevant authorities to step in on behalf of the workers.
We want a new day. We want to see changes. We want to be treated humanely. We want to be respected. We want to have our views heard. And the current executive team is not about that. And we're asking for that to be reviewed. And we're asking for the right people to be put in place in BPL that care about the workers, that are going to consult with us anytime you're going to do anything like this that impedes our safety. And unless and until the workers' rights are respected, and unless until we feel safe, we are not going to put ourselves in an unsafe environment.
Mr. Wilson says he's committed to ensuring that the company's workers get home safely. Legal action may be taken by the Free National Movement against the Davis administration on behalf of individuals who have lost their jobs or had contracts terminated since coming into office. According to the party leader Michael Pintard, on Tuesday at the party headquarters, former FNM MPs Ellsworth Johnson and Don Saunders are gathering information and reviewing contracts by those impacted.
Our intention is to write the substantive minister and to have in copy the Prime Minister. We wish to, in a gradual approach, first give the ministries an opportunity to correct what is happening, and then of course to speak with the Prime Minister. We've already started those discussions, and then we're prepared to take other actions, which in the fullness of time we're prepared to announce.
Now, the party was unable to give a figure on the number of how many individuals have been impacted. However, the former Yamakra MP noted to reporters that individuals are reaching out on a daily basis. Officials from the Pan American Health Organization are urging the Bahamas to focus booster shots for the sections of the population that really need it, including those who are immunocompromised and those aged 60 and over. This much coming from Assistant Director of PAHO, Dr. Jarbos Barbosa, as he addressed the booster rollout in the Bahamas.
I think that's very important to recognize the effort that the Bahamas and many other countries are making to increase the access of their population to vaccines. The Bahamas is moving forward very fast. It's now around 36% of their population fully vaccinated. So, following the recommendation that the PAHO has made, it's very important to increase the coverage in the population and to make the third dose for that groups that the WHO and PAHO are recommending. People that receive Sinovac or Sinopharm vaccine and they are at 60 or older, and for any vaccine, people that are immunocompromised. For the other vaccines, they really don't need. At this moment, a third dose is much more important to use these doses to increase the coverage.
Now, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla has gone on record to say that a fourth dose could be needed 1 year after the third shot. When asked for PAHO's response to this, Dr. Barbosa says this.
About the recommendation of the Pfizer executive, we really cannot make any comment about that. We cannot rely on press briefings made by CEOs or companies. We need to have real scientific data. The scientific evidence will be the basis for that group that I mentioned at the beginning, the strategic advisory group of experts on immunization that makes the recommendation for WHO and PAHO. They need to review scientific evidence. It's not a speculation for one person or other person. This will not provide good recommendation for the Ministry of Health, and maybe they will spread some confusion among the population. So it's better to wait to keep on vaccinating with the vaccines that are available, because they will protect against the Delta variant, that is the most predominant variant in the Americas.
The booster shot is currently available in country to anyone over the age of 18 years old. Smart shelters may be the way forward for the Bahamas as the world grapples with climate change that's causing an increase in the intensity of storms. The government is currently looking into the installation of smart shelters for the country to be better equipped for natural disasters. Consultant for the ministry, Crossman Johnson, speaks to exactly what a smart shelter is.
A smart shelter is a new concept, a brand new concept that came out of the Bahamas. And it is a concept that follows through on the smart healthcare facilities concept. So what happens, a smart shelter is one that is green, which means it's environmentally friendly. It is safe, which means it's resilient, and when individuals go there, they'll be really in a safe position. And it is maintained, which means it will be sustainable. So it works well before, it works well during, and it works well after a disaster. So that's what a smart shelter is.
Dr. Johnson was speaking at a Ministry of Health and Wellness press conference on climate change projects and its partnerships. The smart shelter concept comes after assessments were made to shelters following the devastating Category 5 Hurricane Dorian in 2019.
We looked at, as I said before, the green component. How environmentally friendly are the shelters that we already have in place, and what is required in order for us to have them becoming environmentally friendly and having a reduction in terms of their carbon footprints and in terms of their overall operational costs. What it is also that we need to have in place to ensure that these shelters function effectively in terms of saving lives, in terms of allowing persons to be comfortable while within these facilities, and having systems in place so that we can have a response system that is adequate, a response system that is very, very effective.
According to Senior Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Calais Philippe, the Bahamas would be the first to develop and execute the concept of a smart shelter.
The team was able to participate. That would have been our disaster manager in the person of Miss Antoinette Cumberbatch. Dr. William Hamilton was on the team, myself as well, and so we were there on the ground making the check. Some of the questions were, does this shelter have a water storage tank? And is the roof collecting water? So that if the electricity would go down, would there be water? Are there enough bathrooms? Is there a shower? In terms of, is there solar panels on the shelter? So these were some of the areas in terms of making it climate resilient.
No timeline has been given as to when the smart shelters will be developed. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.